Hi, my name is Brandon Schwecke and this is my Bio Expo project. We will begin with discussing the treatments for mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease. Then we will progress to moderate to severe Alzheimer's disease. We will finish up with my personal favorite, pre-symptomatic treatment of the disease. But before we get into treatments, we must first understand what Alzheimer's disease is and how it occurs. Alzheimer's disease is caused by the accumulation of amyloid plaques on the brain. The amyloid plaques are made up of amyloid beta, which are peptides about 36 to 43 amino acids in length. The amyloid plaque is formed when multiple amyloid beta molecules start to conglomerate into flexible soluble oligomers. Another protein that is involved with Alzheimer's disease is the tau protein. The tau protein's function is to stabilize the microtubules in the cell, which provides structural support. The tau protein is most commonly found in the nervous system, and when it malfunctions, it cannot do its job anymore, and it could cause Alzheimer's disease. But why is Alzheimer's such a big deal, you ask? Well, there's projected to be about 13,500,000 people living with Alzheimer's disease by 2050 in the US alone. Right now, the lifetime risk of having Alzheimer's disease for a 65-year-old patient is about 10.5%. So, on to the treatments. The mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease is treated in two different ways, one with memantine and the other with cholinesterase inhibitors. Cholinesterase inhibitors are made to work by inhibiting the acetylcholinesterase enzyme from breaking down acetylcholine. On the other hand, the memantine is made to act on the glutamatergic system by blocking the N-methyl D-aspartate receptors. In one clinical trial of putting memantine against cholinesterase inhibitors, they actually found that the control group, who didn't receive either drug, was actually doing better cognitively than the treated groups. On the other hand, in a completely different trial, they used three different cholinesterase inhibitors, which were all very successful. In a trial to see the effectiveness of drugs for moderate to severe Alzheimer's disease, some of the patients were affected a lot by the drugs, while others weren't so much. But on the cognitive test that they took at the end, some of them improved a lot, while others didn't pretty much at all, which is unfortunate, but some improvement is always better than none. In a trial to see the effectiveness of drugs for moderate to severe Alzheimer's disease, the drugs for some of the patients were really effective, but for others, they weren't so much, which is unfortunate, but the cognitive test that they took at the end of the trials showed that for some of them, they improved a lot, but for others, they barely showed any improvement. But for people in that severe of a case, some is better than nothing. Now, onto my personal favorite part of the project, the pre-symptomatic treatment. Essentially, the pathophysiological process of Alzheimer's disease actually begins a long time before any symptoms arise. So, that period of time in the preclinical stages would provide an essential intervention point. Now, onto my personal favorite part of this project, the pre-symptomatic treatment of Alzheimer's disease. Essentially, the pathophysiological process of Alzheimer's disease actually takes place a long time before you're actually diagnosed for the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. This preclinical period would provide a critical intervention point for scientists to find a way to actually be able to cure this disease before it actually happens. But on the other hand, we further need to understand the link between the preclinical stages and the actual emergence of the symptoms of this disease. So in other words, if we could find that out and make a treatment that has the ability to intervene before symptoms actually start occurring, then we could pretty much prevent Alzheimer's disease altogether. In order to be able to pre-symptomatically diagnose something like Alzheimer's disease, but really any disease, I suppose, that has early detections, you have to look for a biomarker, and in the case of Alzheimer's disease, this biomarker would most likely be the amyloid beta accumulation, the same one from earlier, yes. And so that's like the most common one that we can find, but the thing about the amyloid beta accumulation is that it is needed for Alzheimer's disease to occur, but it's not enough to say that it will occur. So, in other words, you can have an amyloid beta accumulation and never get Alzheimer's. So, it's kind of a big problem because if you're just doing it off of that, then you could misdiagnose someone and then mistreat them. So, that might not be the best idea. So, this preclinical period of time is kind of too good to be true, right? Well, kind of. Your cognitive abilities are actually decreasing during the preclinical period of time, but not enough to be too obvious. So you still appear to be healthy, but you're actually not. So, in conclusion, there are not many drugs out there that have the potential to stop Alzheimer's disease from ever occurring, or have the potential to lessen the effects to the point where the patient is almost as healthy and has as good of cognitive function as anyone who doesn't have Alzheimer's disease. But on the other hand, the treatment that has the most potential, it seems, would be that pre-symptomatic treatment that can intervene before you actually have Alzheimer's disease, even though you are cognitively receding. But hopefully, we have that treatment available to us in the near future, because it does seem like that is the best treatment, and none of the other ones seem to be very effective. And now, as for my cameraman's favorite part of the video, even though mine was the pre-symptomatic treatment, the end. So, thank you all for watching, and I really hope that each one of you took something from this video and learned something from it. Be it something about Alzheimer's disease or something about pre-symptomatic treatment, which pre-symptomatic treatment has pretty much almost limitless applications. So, I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and have a good day.